welcome back to K Charles Couture Sewing Page. I'm your girl K Stu, and today I'm going to show you how we created that blazer right there. Listen, I love the season right here. This is fall season. Fall, you can wear your pants, you can wear your shorts, and you don't feel uncomfortable. It feels just as cool enough for some pants, but sometimes it's hot enough for some shorts. But I always love a good blazer, and I have to go back into the office a couple of days a month, so I figure, you know what? I don't have a red blazer. And my niece had this red blazer on, and it was so lovely. And I was like, I gotta have me a red blazer. So I bought me some red suiting. I got me a pattern. The pattern we're going to be doing today is Simplicity 1421 right here, if you see. And I'm so excited to show you how we're going to create this jacket and put it together. So stay with me. We're going to do a step-by-step. I'm going to go through each step and let you know that this is step 1, this is step 2, so that we can create, voila, that thing right there. And hopefully I'll have some pictures to add on here. I may not have any pictures, but hey, if you're following me on the Facebook page for K Charles Couture, then you'll see me in that blazer pretty soon. So you know my motto, grab your scissors and grab your material, and let's begin. So I told you I was going to do step by step, and as promised, I am going to do that. But for 1421, the first set of directions were to make sure you get your fusible interface in, and I don't feel like you need to see that on camera, but you want to go ahead and make sure you have all your interfacing on each piece that's recommended. Then it's also telling you to go ahead and do your darts. Again, I didn't feel like I needed to do that in the camera, but I have my darts in my thing, and it's also telling you to do some stay stitching. I did my stay stitching there. And you also want to do it on your back neck. That's going to prevent it from stretching when you're actually putting the garment together. So we're going to skip right on over to number 4. So we're on direction number 4. This is this way. Sorry, I'm not used to this camera. Stay stitch number 4. So number 4 says stay stitch your back edges and the neck. And we've done that already. And then it says we're going to go ahead and attach pieces number 4 and number 5. So we're going to get piece number 4, which is our back pieces. For me, it's this one. This is number 4. I get piece number 4 and piece number 5. Okay, now that you have your back pieces together, this is your new back. This is what your back's going to look like. Now that you've stitched them together, you want to go ahead and grab piece number 5. And this is the right side facing. You want to do right side facing. So grab your piece number 5 here. And we're going to start at the bottom of this. And as you can see, when you have piece number 5, you have the 2 pieces together. This is like slooping into your thing, but don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how we're going to make them together so that you can have a nice clean finish. So again, we're going to start at the bottom with right sides facing. Let me turn it around this way. So start at the bottom, and we're going to start pinning. I always like to pin the bottom to make sure that the bottom pieces are matching. Nothing like getting halfway done and then your material is not the same look. And I just normally go up until I hit about where the waist is going to be at. And from there, we're going to start at the top. Go ahead, and you're going to see where you have notches on piece number 5. There's 2 notches right here. And you also have 2 notches on piece number 4. So put those 2 notches together. We're going to line them up together like that and stick a pin. Go all the way up to the top with this one. Go ahead, add a pin there. And then you're going to do the same thing up here at the very top. Add a pin. Now, you're going to see like there's that little, I'm sure you all have it, there's that little piece like this. Here's what we're going to do. This is the easy way I like to do it. I normally take the two pieces and I kind of fold it, almost like I'm giving it a fold. I press it out straight like this. Not press it out straight, sorry. I pull it out straight and I bend it. So when you bend it, because that's that curved piece, it's going to fit in there automatically. So go ahead and give it a little bend to it, just like that, and add a pin. Do it again, give it a little bend, add a pin. And you're still going to have some wrinkles, but don't worry about that, because once you sew it, it's going to be fixed. Now, once you've sewn it down, here's what the back of your jacket is now looking like. This has become your new armhole. This piece here that you're going to put on there, and that little curve that you normally see in the backs of your jacket, that's how it's been created. So go ahead and do that to the other side, and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so get your pieces number 2, and these are interfaced, so this is going to be easy to figure out what's the inside and what's the right side. Just makes it a little easier. So I'm going to just go ahead and move that back so you can see the whole view. Grab your pins, grab piece number 2, and you know how I like to do. We're going to put the right sides facing together, and we're going to do the same thing that we did for pieces number 4 and number 5. We're going to connect these two together so that when we open it up, it's going to look like this. Actually, sorry. It's going to look like this. Oops, both sides. So when we open it up, it's going to look just like this. So now we definitely have our armhole, a definite armhole there. So let's go ahead and pin it. And we also have notches. Go ahead and grab your pieces, and let's start at the notch and at the corner of the armhole. And we're going to pin this down. Just like that. Same thing here. Just go down and pin it in place. And y'all know what that means. If we're pinning something, that means we are about to sew it. So, sew this all the way down. Pin it together. Like this. Pin together. All the way down to the bottom. Do the same thing for the other side. Go over to your sewing machine, sew those two down. I'm going to hit my serger and serge it off. Finish off your edges so that they're nice and smooth on the inside. And then we'll go on to step number 6. Alright, so we are now on step number 6. And what it says for us to do on step number 6, oh, my apologies. This is what you should be, your jacket should currently look like this on the inside as of right now. This is the inside of your jacket. So this is where, you see I have my serger. This is why I say it's important to make sure that you do that double fold on your thing, because you want the inside of your jacket to look nice and neat. This is not lined. You don't have to line this jacket. And these are our interface pieces. But so far it's looking good. So now it's telling us to make sure that we do an edge finish on the bottom of our seams, on the bottom of the jacket, here. Like that, matching notches, okay. Then press up the hem on the lower edge of the jacket, edge finish raw edge, and slip stitch hem in place. So here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to go over to my serger. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to go over to my serger and I'm going to finish the edge of this jacket off. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Then you're going to turn up your hem of the jacket. So you're going to take your hem and we're going to turn it up. Once we turn it up, then we're going to go ahead. It's asking us to slip stitch the hem in place so you can go across. But y'all know how I feel about hand stitching stuff. Now, I'm not telling you not to slip stitch yours in place. Because you can slip stitch your hem in place by using the seams inside your jacket. You can also, and slip stitching actually makes it a little more neater. But guess what? I'm not doing that. So again, I'm going to go over to my serger. I'm going to finish off the edge all the way across. I'm going to fold it up and I'm going to sew it down. So that is my variation of what I'm going to do. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. Again, you want to finish off the edge. If you don't have a serger, don't worry. Here's what you can do. You want to fold your jacket up about 1/4 inch. And then you want to fold it again another 1/4 inch. So now you have a nice clean finish. Let's see, a bit closer so you can see what I mean. Oops. Sorry about that. Let me get up a little closer so you can see what I mean when I say do it double. Screw and some. Okay. So if you do not have a serger, don't trip. Take your bottom of your jacket, fold it up about 1/4 inch, about like that. Then you're going to fold it up again, about another 1/4 inch. So this is what the bottom of your jacket will look like once you've done the double stitch. So now you have a nice clean finish at the bottom. That's if you don't have a serger. Also, you can take a small zigzag stitch and go straight across the bottom. That will finish it off just like a serger, and then go ahead and do your normal hem like that. So do that and come back. Alright, so I have my hem at the bottom like was instructed in the step number 5. Have that down. So you're going to grab, and this is what your jacket should be looking like as of right now. So we're going to go ahead and grab pieces number 9, which is our front, the remainder of our front flaps, and we're going to attach them to this part of the jacket. So we're going to be doing front side, right side facing. So we'll put that one there. I'm going to put this one over here. I think probably not. Don't look right. We're going to put that one there, just like this. I think. And we're going to put this one here. So we're going to go ahead and attach the two together. So get one piece and get you some pins, because you're going to need them. And we're doing right side spacing, which is this here. So we have the right side there, the pins. Then you're going to grab one of your pieces. We're going to put right side spacing. We're going to look for our notches. This is where we did our stay stitching, but we're going to use that top notch. We're going to connect it to the top notch here. So, sorry, I got to do it this way. Like that. So 2 front notches, we're going to match them up like that. And this is going to give us some twist and turns, I'm tell you. So get prepared. Go ahead, put it in. Then we're going to go up and match our pieces up. Put in. Y'all know what that means. Pinning means we're about to sew. So, gonna do that. And you'll keep going around until you have it completely, completely pinned down. So go around that curve. Bend it over like that if need to. I always fold it like that, almost in half. Put it in. And then go around to the next notch. Okay, you just gotta be careful when you're going around that curve, because you want to make sure that you get it nice and flat. Going around till you get to the bottom of the jacket. When you get to the bottom of the jacket, they should meet at the end. And we're going to go on to the next side. Do that, come back, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so we did number 7. Now, it also says on the bottom of number 7 to go ahead and prepare the pockets and apply pockets the same as for jacket BA. So, let's grab our pockets out. And you should have interface both of your pockets. Let's move this over for a minute. Now, the way we're going to do our pockets is you should have cut 2 little slits, or you should have 2 lines. We're going to fold that down on those lines. So me, I just put 2 snips in it. But because I got this interfacing on it afterwards, I'm going to have to snip it again so that I can see it through the interfacing. There's a snip right here. And then there's one over here. And then the same thing for this side. Snip. And then here's the other one. Snip. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this down. Right side's facing. And you're going to take it over to your iron and give it a good press. So the first thing we're going to do is fold it over like this. Same thing on that side. Fold it over. And do the same thing for this one. Fold over the snips. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our sewing machine and we're going to sew from at the top and we're going to go all the way around the pocket all the way up to the other side. Then we're going to fold this inside out so that you only see on the clean side. We're going to top stitch it across on the front on the right side. And then we're going to fold this under. In fact, I'm just going to show you. So let's take this over to the sewing machine and be right back. Okay, so you should be back from your machine, and I'm going to flip it over so you can actually see the thread. So you should have went over to your machine, and you should have started at the very top of your pocket and went all the way around and down to the bottom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to snip these ends off right here. Make sure you can still see me. Snip. I'm going to go in that way. Make sure you do not cut your thread. Close it. Just getting rid of the bulk that we're going to use. Trying to flip this over. Flip. Sew it. Like that. Now, take it and you're going to flip this inside out. Grab your pointer. Make sure you get all your points out. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is where we have that stitching around our pocket, we're going to fold it under. This just allows the pocket to fold under a little easier when you have that stitching there. Let's go to the iron. Alright, so we are going to attach our pockets. You should have some large circles where show you where your pocket is going to be placed on your jacket. This is where mine is. And you just want to make sure all those pieces you have tucked under that you're pinning down. Because when you go to your sewing machine, you're going to sew these down. I know it tells you where you're supposed to put your pockets, but this is where I'm going to do a little alteration. So I think I got my pocket right there. Not necessarily where you have it. So I like to make sure that this is flattened out. I'm going to go under the pocket and hold it in place and put it down. Going in each corner. Like I told you, I'll be doing like alterations and stuff, but this is one of the alterations I'm pretty much doing because I didn't really like where the pocket was placed. So I'm putting it where I want it to be. And that's the good thing about making your own clothes because you can make alterations like that. So I'll keep pinning this pocket down like that. You're going to make sure it's nice and flat and stretched out. Same thing up here. You already know where you see pins, there's going to be sewing. So we're just pinning all around the edges of the pocket. So you're going to do the same thing for the other side. Alright, so I have both of my collar pieces, the under collar and the upper collar. Now it's giving us directions right here in directions number 8, 9, and 10 if we were using bias tape. But we're not using bias tape. So we're going to do a little alterations here when it comes to the collar. So instead of doing those directions, you're going to take your two collar pieces and we're going to put them right sides together like this. Go ahead and grab some pins and pin it behind. Now, because we're doing a different way, it's going to be a little extra, so go ahead and grab your scissors and we'll cut that off. Okay, so we're going over to our machine. We're going to sew it down from this corner here all the way around to the same corner on the other side. Then we're going to flip it inside out. We're going to press it. I'm going to top stitch it, and then we're going to attach it to our jacket. So I'm going to let you walk with me through these steps. Okay, so now that I have my two pieces connected together, we're going to go ahead and just snipping off some of this excess. Now flip it inside out like this. Grab your pointer. edges. The collar. Like that. I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine. I mean, not my sewing machine. I'm going to take it over to my iron. And I'm going to give it a good press there. Then I'm going to also give it a top coat. Top stitch. I said a top coat. My bad. Sorry. Must be getting late. Make sure you have all the corners poked out like that. And like I said, then I'm going to go over to my sewing machine. Once I've ironed it really good, and I'm going to give it a top stitch all the way around the collar. And then we're going to attach it to the jacket. Stay tuned. Okay, so here we are. This is what my collar looks like now. I have my top stitching on there. That's the interfacing. This is the under collar, which is good, so you won't remember. You can remember which side is supposed to be underneath and what's on top. So you should also have some notches on your collar. There's one, and then there's one. We're going to match these notches up with the notches on the back of the jacket and pin them together. Once we pin them together, we're going to go ahead and sew it down. So grab your jacket, grab your back, and there are my notches that I was referring to. So go ahead and grab your collar. And we're going to match up the notches. Let's see. And then we got all the way to the end of the collar. All the way to the end of the neck. And the same thing for the other side. So once you have that on, it should look like that. There's your under collar, under your back. In fact, because now that it has a seam, I really want to match those things match up. But so that's over like that. Going over to your machine and sew it straight across there. Alright y'all, so your jacket should be looking like this. We have our pockets intact. We have our fronts on. So now we have our collar attached as well. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our facings. Let's move this out the way for a second. Grab your front and your back facings. We are now on step number 13. Yeah, we're on step 13. So go ahead and grab your facings. Both of them. Grab your facings like that. So we're going to go ahead and put these facings together. And you should still have all your markings, which is good. So grab your back facing. You know, first thing we need to do is sew the back facing together. Let's do that. So I'm going to take that over to our machine. Right side's facing. Go ahead and pin that down. And we're going to sew straight across there. Then, once you have that done, you're going to go ahead and add this back facing to your Okay, so now that I have my back facing my collar facing sewn together and laid out. I just kind of lay it out so I can get an idea of what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing. So one thing that I do know is once this jacket is on, we're going to have to make sure that this part is edged. The edge of this is nice and clean because this is the part that's going to be showing in the jacket. So I'm going to take this over to my serger and finish off both of those edges right there so that when we fold it on the inside of the jacket, this will be nice and clean. So that's why I'm going to do that real quick. But it doesn't show you this part. It doesn't even show you constructing these two pieces together. But what you're going to do is, once you've cleaned off your edges on this side here, we're going to match up the notches here, just like that. You're going to pin it down, and you're going to sew straight across. Hey y'all, so when you're putting on the front facing, we adding that piece number 9 that had the darts and stuff in it, don't forget to go ahead and sew across your shoulders like I did. So I had to undo my collar just a little bit so that I could make sure I get my shoulders. I don't know how I forgot that part. Alright, so go ahead and grab your face and you should have all your pieces together. As you can see, I've cleaned off my edges like I was telling you about earlier. So we're going to find right sides facing. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to push our collar down because we want our collar to be coming out of both the facing and the thing. So you're going to lay that flat like that. Lay it flat. And we're doing right sides up. Just like that. Grab your facing pieces. And I'm going to start at the back facing because we have our notches here. So there's a notch there and there's a notch there. And you also have that on your back facing. So you want to go ahead and match up your notches like that. Let me turn it right this way. So find your notches. My notches are here. I'm going to match those up right there. So everything is nice and right. And we're going to pin it down. Because you know what happens when we pin stuff. That means we are about to sew something. Okay, so pin. And then the other side on the notch. There. And we're just going to take our time and go around from one side to the next side. Oops. So grab here. Sorry, the pin stuck my finger. Ooh. So you're going to see here where you should have some dots on your pattern. Make sure that you do all your notches and all of your markings. So this is marking here showing me that this goes here. Put it this way. I'm going to turn these pins down the other way because they are sticking in me. That is not good at all. Down, keep going around. Right here. Make everything matched up. You want to make sure it matches all the way up. We're going all the way down with this. So like I said, don't forget pins are your friend. Pins all the way down to the end of your facing. Now, like I'm telling you, pins are your friend, so make sure you use your pins. I'm going to stop there because it's for me. Do the same thing on the other side, and then take it over to your sewing machine, and you're going to sew all the way across. Alright y'all, so I'm using my body double so I can show you that I have the front facing on, and that lapel looks really good. My pockets are looking really good here. Everything is fitting nice. Don't worry about this little bad iron job. This is why I normally, when I do blazers, I take them to the dry cleaners so that they can give it a good press. But this is what the jacket should be looking like as of right now. At this point, you should only have to add your sleeves. And that is what we're going to do next. Okay, so before I went over to my machine, I'm looking at the rest of the directions. So direction number 18 is we're going to pin our sleeves together, and then we're going to go and sew them up and get them nice and clean. And then on direction number 19, it also has us edge finishing the raw edge of the hem, which is going to be down here. And then you're going to actually place the hem up there. Okay, so I came back to show you, because I know I was probably talking a little fast. So here are your sleeves. Now, normally your jacket is going to have like a little opening where you can put your buttons and you can actually button your button. But I'm not going to have that on my jacket because I don't really care for those. So my buttons is really just going to be for show. But what I did want you to see is I have the bottom edge stitched off. So now what they were asking you to do is to go ahead and fold it up. And I'm going to fold mine up about, and this is tricky because I haven't put the jacket on. I normally put my jacket on and then put my hem in it. But since they're requesting us to do it this way, I'm going to follow the instructions. So I'm going to make my hem about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to flip that up. Because I really don't mind if my jacket is a little longer. In fact, I'm going to do 1 inch. 1 inch hem. So I'm using my serge gauge, my seam gauge here, and I'm going to press it at 1 inch. And pin it down. Now, if you are going to have your jacket open so that your buttons are functional, then you're going to follow along with what they're telling you to do when you're actually putting the when you're putting the sleeve together before you sew it. Because when you're doing your instructions, when you get to this part here, which they have already sanctioned out for you, for your buttons, then you're going to stop here. Then you're going to put 2 different hems there. That way you can open it up. I'm not doing that. I'm going to go straight down and bypass all of that. So let's just go ahead and finish getting this pinned up for this hem. So I'm going to take this over to my machine. I'm going to sew straight across so I have my hem. Then I'm going to fold right sides facing the jacket. Then we're going to, I'm just going to pin it so you can see what I mean. Find your notches. There's my notch here. We're going to put a pin there. And the same thing going down. Put a pin. And then this is what I'm going to use to finish off my sleeve. So this is what it should look like. Alright, so I'm back, and as you can see, my sleeves are done. I put the hem at the bottom. We're going to turn them inside the right way so you can see it. Of course, give it a good press at your iron. I did press my hem, but I didn't press the inseam. So, like I said, I normally take it to the cleaner, so let them give it a good press. Now I'm going to grab my little body double. I'm going to show you how we put the sleeves on your jacket. Alright, y'all, so we're going to add our sleeves onto our jacket. This is what our sleeves are looking like now. I did give it a little press. And you also want to make sure that you put a couple of rows of ease stitching in there. This is what we're going to use when we're actually attaching the jacket to the sleeves to keep the puckers out. So you want to make 2 rows, and you want to use the longest stitch you have on your machine. And that way we're going to kind of pull it. We're going to gather it like this when it's time to, I'll show you when I'm doing it, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to gather. So you want to make sure that the ends are kind of long so that you can grab hold to them. So you want to make sure that that's done. And that is step number 21. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and add our sleeves. So you want to take your jacket, you want to put it inside out. Keep your sleeves right side out. So your sleeves look the right way, your jacket looks inside out. And we're going to take our sleeves and we're going to tuck it down inside of here. Now, the key to know if you have the right sleeve or not is to look for your notches. There's 2 sets of double notches right here in your underarm. you want to make sure you find those double notches here in your sleeve, so that way you know that this one goes into this arm hole. So put that in there like that. I'll flip it over. And the first thing you want to do is find your notches. And let's go ahead. Actually, this notch is on that side, so here's not the right sleeve. It's the sleeve. Put your sleeve inside. Look for your notches. Here's my notches, my double notches on both my sleeve and the jacket. Let's match those up like that. And we're going to put a pin. We're going to put a pin there. You're going to go all the way around. I always start at the bottom because the bottom is tight. The top is what we're going to ease into our stitching. So go ahead and pin this down as well. I'm going to turn it around a little bit. Like this. Alexa, thank you.
Anytime. Literally. Have a good Thursday afternoon.
Alexa, stop. Sorry, y'all, I had an alarm set because I gotta start getting ready for work, and I'm hoping I can wear my jacket to work today. So we're gonna finish this up real fast because I do still have time. So go ahead and make sure everything is adding up and matching up here. Pin it down. Pin everything down like that. Get a good pin. I'm gonna tell you, this suiting is not holding my pins in today. I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm about to go to the side. Go to the side with that, maybe that. Get the longer pins. Maybe that'll help. Because I need my pins to stay inside. Okay. And as we're getting up closer to the shoulder, this is where that ease stitching is going to come into play. So take your jacket and your sleeve. It's on the inside there. And we're going to just find the middle of it. So this is what I do. I normally take the bottom of the sleeve so I can find the top. Fold it over and find the top. I know that that's going to be in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and grab both. And I'm also grabbing this back facing that I have because I'm going to tack it down. Might as well do everything at the same time. Get a pin, spin it together like that. Now this is where you want to go start easing your sleeve. And I like to do it once I have it in my jacket, not before I put it in my jacket, because I want to make sure it fits in my jacket properly without those puckers. So I'm going to take one from this side and I'm going to just pull it. I'm going to just gather it like this. Just gather it up. And then you gather it from the other side. You get the other string and gather it. So you want to do it like this. And you just gotta work your way. Take your time. You don't want to pop any strings or anything like that, but you just want to ease your tension across. Just like that. On this side, I'll grab the other side. Just like that. Do the same thing the opposite way. But just take your time. Like I said, take your time. And make sure that your sleeve is fitting nice in that compartment. And do the same thing with this one. Start pulling. And then you'll see it's automatically folding into your sleeve. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sew under this so that this doesn't pop up and your puckers will show up. So once you've gathered it, sew under the gather. That keeps it from having the puckers. There you go, like that. And now you can actually pin it in place. Same thing with this one. Pin this in place here. Because once I actually do it, I'm going to take my serger and snatch all that off. And you'll do the same thing with yours when you're finishing off your sleeve, because you want it to be nice and smooth. So you won't even see any of that. Now, my sleeve is inside my jacket. Like that. And I don't have any puckers. Alright, do that for your other sleeve. Go ahead and sew it and come back. I'll show you the last step. Okay, y'all, and my sleeves are on, and guess what? Your jacket is finished. Because since we already hemmed it before we put the sleeves on, you're finished. I actually love it, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, I gotta go drop it off so they can press it out real good at the cleaners. I don't really do good at pressing things, but I do love the jacket. I love the way it's looking. I love the way it feels. The only thing you need to do now is go ahead and add your buttons according to your sewing machine's guidelines or manufacturer's guidelines. You put your buttons on however you want to do it. I don't know if you want to hand sew them. I am going to use my buttons, but I'm going to wait, like I said, until I go get it pressed. But I'm going to tell y'all, I love it. I can't wait to put this on. And I'll make sure I put some pictures on here with me in this jacket. Y'all, this is perfect. It was the red blazer I was looking for. And again, we did Simplicity 1421. Listen, if you do the jacket, go on my Facebook page at K Charles Couture. Send me a post. Let me know you did the thing. Let me know that this was helpful for you. I love to see your work. I like to see, how yours came out. If you did any different things to it. Like I said, I don't really care for the open buttons. Mine's are really just going to be for show. So I'm going to add my buttons on here. I hope this tutorial was enjoyable for you all. I enjoyed doing it for you. And I look forward to seeing you all next time. Peace out.